The B team, we're here. Welcome back to the B team, and thank you for listening. We're really enjoying it, and I'm having fun. I know Muller and Gass are having fun. Let's dive right into it. We are 7 weeks in already?
Yeah.
God, it's flying by, but we got a lot to talk about. Listen, I will say, whoever saw that reel, I'm sorry. Mikey Meatballs is off this year. Something is wrong. My takes are awful. That's how I have to start. I have to get out the way. Don't think about it again, but I am in shambles. Everything. My fantasy teams, the Jets are now in shambles, but I'm not worried about them yet.
0 for 2.
0 for 2. 0 for 2. Houston fucked me. The Saints fucked me, but it's okay because I already have a lock next week and it's going to hit. So that's where I'm at.
All right.
And we also do not have a special guest on today, so we're going to touch on everything that we haven't been able to touch on. But we want to thank all those guys for coming on the pod, anyways, because they were awesome. So let's touch on the good stuff. What are you thinking? What's on your mind?
I mean, the Cowboys' defense is just the best defense in the league.
So we're jumping right to the Cowboys. All right, go ahead. Let me hear
you
your
asked
rant.
me what's on my mind. I'm staring at a Cowboys schedule right here.
And you're all decked out in the Cowboys stuff. So let's go.
Because we're so back. So Dak's back. Dak had a slow start, but I honestly, if we're really going to get into it, I think the problem with the Cowboys and what's holding them back is Kellen Moore.
Kellen Moore?
Kellen Moore.
Okay.
I don't understand how this man was in talks to be a head coach places because he would have been the first one fired based on what he's doing with this offense this year. Dak came in. So here's the thing with Dak. He could have – yesterday he comes back. If he wins, plays good, everyone's like, oh, well, it's the Lions. He comes back, plays okay. They barely get by. Oh, well, thank God he has the defense. If he plays good and they lose, it's like, Dak, Cowboys aren't back, like whatever. If he plays horrible, then it's, Dak's not back and Cooper's team.
I think you really can't judge Dak based on this performance and this game.
I thought he played good.
I think he did all right. I mean, I actually watched some of that game. I just think, personally, the Lions are just really down bad. Between Amon-Ra getting hurt, Swift, who knows if he's even going to play this year. He probably is, but I think that Dak had to do what he had to do. I mean, you really can't expect him to go 300 for 3 tutties and 4 tutties his first game back. I mean,
statistically, he was one of the best quarterbacks this week.
He did solid, man. I mean, he didn't really have to do much. The defense kept him in. The run game was good. I mean, the Lions are in really bad shape right now. That they took care of business. That's all you can ask from them. So good for them.
Yeah, I mean, the defense forced 2 interceptions and 4 fumbles yesterday.
I mean,
so that's all you can. I mean, you can't ask for much more from your defense. I mean, Trayvon Diggs is an animal. Micah Parsons, did you see the tackle he made that basically, I would say that saved the game at that point because then they got the fumble the very next play. And, I mean, that changed all the momentum in that game. If Detroit scores there, every Dallas fan is shitting themselves.
And you know what, too? That first half, there was only one drive where they had, a pretty solid time of possession. It only lasted, 5 minutes, but – dude, they held them to 2 field goals. There was one drive in the second half that they held it for 7 minutes. The defense had to do what they had to do, and they played really well. Good for them.
Yeah, but I think that the offense can and will help them out. I mean, the second half was much better than the first half, but here's just a little tidbit of Kellen Moore's offense for you. Drive number 1 was a 2nd and 10, and then they ran on 3rd. So that they get 3rd and long and they punted. So I don't know why we were just running the ball. I don't know if he was afraid of Dak not being back or whatever. Drive 2, 3rd and 1, run loses yards. That barely ever happens, but we punted again. Drive 3, we get a false start to start. Then the passing game gets us a first down. And Kellen Moore's like, no, we're going to run it 3 times because our passing game's working. We ended up punting again. You can't put this on Dak, but if they just put the ball in Dak's hands, we're going to be fine.
This is such an interesting year because I feel like a lot of the teams are more so resorting to the run game. I mean, because they have all these coaches have their schemes now where it's, let's do the zone runs, let's do the inside zone runs, and then we can open up the pass once we get 7 yards and it's a 2nd and 3rd, or it's a 3rd and 5 and then we pass. I feel like a lot of the teams are not predictable, but they're trying to utilize what they have the most. The Cowboys, they have Zeke. They have a good line that has been good in the run game for years. And Tony Pollard. So, I mean, the receiving game, they have CD. Obviously, he's great. Schultz, I think, is finally starting to come back.
Dak's best friend.
Yes. But, I didn't see really much action with any other receivers besides those guys. So I mean, you know what? That's okay though. Like, it reminds me, like, I hate to bring them up, but like them and the Jets are kind of in the same spot where the quarterbacks don't have to do too much. Like,
No.
they just have to not turn the ball over, which they didn't, the Cowboys, and they just got to let the run game flow and let the game flow itself. Like, they'll pass when they have to, but that's the thing though. If the run game is working, I never understand like why resort away from it. Like, I get it, you want to mix it up a little bit, but dude, if it's working and it's getting you wins, you got to keep with it. You got to utilize your strengths.
We've always said that we go as Zeke goes, and I think that that's something that we tend to get away from, especially in the middle of games, which is when like we could run away with some of these games, I feel like. And yesterday was another chance to, and we waited till the second half to really pull away. I mean, Lions ended the game with 6 points.
Yeah.
Imagine if we actually ran our offense how we wanted to in the first half. That game could have been blown out. It could have been 24-6 at halftime.
So who do the Cowboys play next week now?
The Bears.
They play the Bears.
And then the bye.
So the Bears are an actual good defense. It's going to be now. I feel like Dak's going to have more of a presence throwing the ball, but you can't count out the Bears defense. Even though they're a gross team, they'll still wreak havoc on you. Like, because that's the only thing that they have going for them. But that offense is going to get abused by Dallas. I can't see the Bears even trying to win this game, but you still have Mike McCarthy as a coach, and I hate him, but who knows? Your defense is there.
Fun fact, if we really want to get into the Packers here, because I think that's on our list.
The Packers, yeah, they're next.
Mike McCarthy is now 17-7 since 2001. Matt LaFleur is now 16-8 since 2021.
They are so done. The only thing I've been right about this year were the damn fraud Packers. They're done.
They're 0-3 in their last 3 games, and 2 of them came against New York. New York has defeated them. They're going to go lose to they play the Bills next week, right?
Yeah, it's over. No shot.
No, they're losing all 3 New York teams. They're going to lose 4 in a row. They're done. Throw that man in jail. It's over. They shouldn't even try to play football the rest of the season. Their only 3 wins came against teams with a losing record or a 500 record.
You know what? That was the thing, though. Like, I'm tired of the fucking Rodgers suck. Everyone sucks Rodgers like no tomorrow.
He should be in jail.
Dude, literally lost Devontae Adams, and they still thought, oh my God, it's Aaron Rodgers. He's going to make everyone around him good, blah, blah, blah. Dude, I've seen nothing.
No.
The run game, Aaron Jones is like their only bright spot on offense, and Lazard too, but Romeo Doubs is missing. Freaking Randall Cobb got hurt. Sammy Watkins missing. A.J. Dillon missing. All of these guys, they're a little banged up. Their O-line just isn't the same. The old players on their team they're just done. Like they just can't handle it anymore. The youth movement is coming, man, and I love to see it. I love to see it because he's going to be hosting Jeopardy next year at some point, and I'm going to laugh my ass off. I'm over the Packers. Fuck them. They're done.
The Packers.
The Vikings are taking that division, and the Packers are going to win me my only future bet that I put down, and the Vikings too. But they're done. They're done, and I love to see it.
So watching the Packers, like I just have a question for you because this crossed my mind yesterday while I was watching the games. So the Packers, you would put them still like you would still pick them against most teams in the league.
Yeah, I mean I picked them against Washington,
and that just makes me feel like we have only a few great teams this year, and then everyone else is just in like the same
mediocrity,
path.
man.
Like,
That's all it is.
Even the Texans, I was looking at it. They might be the best 1-4-1 team I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Like I didn't want to bet against them this past weekend because I was like, I feel like the Texans could win this game by 30, but they also could lose by 30. But I feel like that's the case with half the teams in the league, more than half.
Yeah, I mean, why I picked the Texans and why I posted that reel on Instagram is because the record doesn't go to show with that team. Like they play hard, dude. Like Damian Pierce is like that. Davis Mills has his games where he's good. Brandon Cooks is like that, but he's not getting the volume that he used to. Their defense is stingy. It's stingy and stingly. He's good. It's just that Josh Jacobs apparently has come out of nowhere and has just been abusing everybody. He has his last 3 games, he has scored at least 30 fantasy points. Like that is unheard of from Josh Jacobs.
Right. I'm going to go down a list of a few teams here. I just want you to say good or bad.
Okay, let's do it.
Ready? Cardinals.
Bad.
Well, they just okay.
Bad.
You sure?
Fool's gold. They're bad.
Okay, they just put up 42 points on the Saints in the Dome.
Okay, that's fine, but they're bad.
All right. Bengals.
Good. course they're good.
Falcons.
Another team like the Texans.
That's what I'm
Another
saying.
team like
Mike.
the Texans.
That is what I'm saying.
But listen, I will say this about the Falcons. They need to get...
You couldn't get yourself to say that they were bad.
No, they're dude, Mariota is the perfect bridge quarterback. He's actually been doing okay. And the thing is, if they actually threw the ball to Pitts and London, they could win games. They're 6-1 against the spread. They're 6-1. Their coach isn't that bad. I was a fan of Arthur Smith before they even hired Saleh. And everyone didn't like him because it was Derrick Henry that ran that offense. He's actually going to show that offense is being a little bit competent. I love shitty underdog teams. They're my fucking favorite. I love them. But it's a run-heavy, run-first offense. That's the thing. That's the only thing about them. Oh, their defense is not bad. It's just the Bengals in Atlanta.
Are so back.
Bengals
are so back.
It was in Cincy. Yeah.
Joe
Burrow's going to have
doesn't
those.
give up second half points.
AJ Terrell did also leave the game with an injury. He's a very, very, very good cornerback for them. So.
I hear you, but it's hard for me to look at that and be like, oh, they lost one corner when Boyd had 155.
Yeah.
Chase had 130 and Higgins had 93. You can't cover them all.
I was watching that game too, and they were coming back. They almost covered. They were very close, but then the Bengals just lit them up after the second half.
Yeah, thank you for throwing that last part in there because I was about to say they lost by 18 points.
Yeah, they made it close, and then they blew away with it. All right, so the Falcons will throw them in with the Texans.
I have two more teams.
Okay, go ahead.
Titans.
They're bad. They're bad.
But they're going to win that division.
The worst division in football.
They're the NFC East now.
Yes.
Okay.
They always have been that bad, though. Like, everyone kind of overlooks that division.
Last team, Seahawks.
Good. I'm going to say they're a good team. And not only because of the offense, but the defense. And I will say this. They have a cornerback, and his name is Tariq Woolen. And he has a shot to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. I know it sounds crazy because we know that Sauce is going to win it. But this guy has been lights out at cornerback on defense. He has locked up a bunch of receivers.
Yeah.
And he's young, and he's got Michael Jackson with him to help him.
Yeah.
We love Michael Jackson.
Bro, he's back. He's still fucking hitting people.
And like Geno, man. Like, Geno has been fucking great. Kenneth Walker, the easiest fantasy football waiver wire pickup you could ever add.
It's hard for me to trust a guy named Kenneth.
Kenneth Walker is great.
Kenneth. That's a hard
Kenneth
name.
has been frying.
That's a tough name.
Let me look at Kenneth's stats real quick. Let's
All right.
see. Let me bring something up here.
While you're looking for that game ruined me for next week because now that was the most confusing game ever because the Seahawks won that by more than 10 points against the Chargers, who are supposed to be the best team from out there. I don't know where I'm supposed to go anymore.
Why don't we let's touch on the Chargers real quick because they're 4-3 right now. Herbert, listen, they lost their one left tackle who is probably one of the better left tackles in the league. What's up with them? Personally, I think it's the coach, but what do you think about the Chargers?
I personally don't think the coach can coach because the announcers say it while we're watching the game. Oh, he had trouble with this last year. Oh, he had trouble with that last year. Like, it's every week, and he continues to make the same mistakes. You can just see that he's never played Madden in his life. He doesn't know when to call timeouts. He doesn't know when to challenge. His play calling is sketchy as hell, and it's showing. They scored 23 points against a Seahawks team that's been bleeding points.
I think what really hurts the Chargers is Brandon Staley's aggressiveness. I think it feels like he's just playing Madden out there where he just wants to go for around 4th and 5 and just not punt the ball.
That's what I mean. But if he played Madden, he would know that 4th and 5, you're not going to get it unless you run a certain play. Like, you got to find the cheat code in your offense. And the play against the Browns was so goddamn bad. That was hard to watch. The 4th down where I think Herbert threw it into the Browns player's helmet.
Yep.
Like, what are we calling?
I know.
Are you trying to lose?
Pretty much, and they lucked out too with that win as well. But I personally believe I don't think any of this is on Herbert because I still think deep down that Herbert is a very damn good quarterback and he's elite.
Yeah. It's the opposite of the situation on the Broncos.
Yes, there you go, and you were right about that too because they are in shambles and their head coach is an idiot.
Yes.
That game was also gross. We're not going to get too much into it, but it was a very gross game. Both defenses are really good. Their defense is good, but I'm not here for the Herbert slander. I think Brandon Staley will be fired. They'll get healthy next year. Listen. They're still, I believe, 4-3. They're over 500.
Well in it.
They still can get a wild card spot and they can make some noise. Eckler's RB1, so they'll be fine.
Yeah, he's gonna get them stuff throughout the weeks. No, let's get into the Jets quick because I feel like a lot happened this weekend with them.
Yeah. So
besides the fact that they are kind of tied for first in the division.
I was wrong about the Jets, and the Jets fans, I love you guys. No, they're probably listening anyways, but I love the Jets. I love the Jets. I will forever love the Jets. Was I down on them at the start of the year? Of course. Because how are you not going to be down on them at the start of the year? We have been fucking atrocious for the last 10 years since 10 to 13 years since Sanchez was a quarterback, eating a hot dog on the sideline. Like, how can you recover from Adam Gase? How? How do you clean that up? I just don't get it, but we have youth. Breece Hall's out with an ACL injury, and Elijah Vera Tucker, our starting left guard, out with a triceps injury. Both out for the season. So Michael Carter will be stepping up. I don't know if they're going to make a move. We'll see. They might. Maybe a guy like Jeff Wilson. Maybe a guy like Kareem Hunt. David Montgomery, I don't think. But I personally don't think they should do it. I mean, if they really want to make a push, they might get another running back for cheap. But they won't trade for a big guy like Hunt. Maybe Hunt. That Hunt's probably the only guy, but Montgomery's not going to be there. Maybe Jeff Wilson. Jeff Wilson or Kareem Hunt. That's it. But they played well. The defense played well. They stood their ground. Sauce Gardner is elite, probably one of the best cornerbacks in the league, and I say that firmly. But the offense is just Elijah Moore. Trade him. I don't care. Too bad he's not going to get traded, but hopefully he comes back and reevaluates his thought process of trying to get traded, because I think it's complete bullshit.
That made no sense to me. Like, you guys are finally playing well, and he's like, "No, I don't want this. I'm trying to go like the Bears or something. I want no expectations."
That just shows how selfish he is. I mean, come on now. Like, dude, you're 5-2 now. You're winning. Even though you're not putting up the stats and the numbers that you want to be, you're winning football games.
4 straight.
Dude, 4 straight. You think Garrett Wilson's complaining? You think Michael Carter, who got his job taken over, is complaining? No. Or CJ Uzomah? Nope. Dude, none of those guys are winning. Like, it's not just stats and catching the football and scoring touchdowns. It's getting open, using him as a decoy. Like, it's shit like that where you're really moving the defense to open up someone else. So,
yeah.
I don't know, man. I mean, I just don't think he'll get traded, but if he keeps this attitude up, he's going to be gone. Joe Douglas ain't going to fuck around with that. No shot.
No.
But Zach Wilson, he's going to have a lot on his shoulders now, especially with they play the Patriots next week. They got the Bills the week following, then they hit their bye. So at least we'll finish over 500, which is what no one expected. So I'm happy about that.
I think you guys are going to win 5 to 6 more.
We can. The schedule gets easier after our bye, 100%.
Hear me out here. This week versus the Patriots, you're home against the Patriots. This is a new Jets team. I know history, and we were talking about before, so I know history is like the Jets are going to lose to the Patriots here. But the Patriots aren't the Patriots anymore. They're not this wagon that's coming through town that's going to fucking kill all your people. No, the Jets are here, and they're going to win this game. The Jets are beating the Patriots. Versus the Bills, no, you're not winning that one. That's going to be a shit show. I would not go to that game and be happy about it. But then at the Patriots, that's where it's a 50-50 game there, because I think the Jets have a chance to win there. They're going to have a chance against every team this year. But then you go to the Bears. That's a dub. Vikings in the Dome, I don't know. At the Bills, definitely not. Lions and Jaguars and Seahawks, we're eating W's, Mike. We're eating W's. So, but this is the key part of all this. The rest of your games, the rest of the year, until the Jags, are at 1 p.m. And professionals love their rituals and their routines and all that. A 1 p.m. game for the rest of the year, essentially. They're going to get into this rhythm, and they could really get rolling here. I could see them making noise against the Bills in one of the games.
I think, hot take, I think they take one from the Bills.
Thank you.
I think they take one from the Bills. I'm not even capping. And it's probably going to be later on in the year when they're sitting all their stars and we have to win. But we're going to still take one from the Bills. We almost did last year. But, listen, the Bills, we know that the Bills are good. but they're missing a lot of people on defense. And you know who's mostly scoring all of these touchdowns? Josh Allen himself. They are running Josh Allen like crazy. I think our defense, because we're obviously going to be underdogs, I think they can make some noise against the Bills. I really do.
Yep. But
next week, dude, we've been through this way. I know. Like you said, history repeats itself. And the history says otherwise. This is a new team. Mm-hmm. Belichick will forever torture the Jets at home with either a rookie or a second-year quarterback. I don't see it happening.
I refuse to believe that.
Listen, and I know what you're coming from.
Zach Wilson is good.
I know where you're coming from. Okay, Zach Wilson is good. Shout out to you, Fireman Ed. Because Tua did beat the Patriots. I'm not saying this. Okay, it could either be a blowout or they are actually going to win by 3 points.
Yeah.
But this is the Patriots. You can't overlook them. We've been through this way too many times. Even when they had Cam Newton.
I know.
We can't overlook them. Belichick is still elite. He's a god.
All right. I hear you. All I'm trying to say is you guys are getting more than 10 wins and you're making the playoffs.
You know what? And I hope so. Because right now we're 5-2, and we have that top wild card spot. Yep. I love it. It's amazing.
And for Jets fans, all you got to do is get into the playoffs and anything can happen.
And you know what? This is good, too, because we are exceeding expectations. Like, us, all of us, all the Jets fans, there were some who were like, oh, we're going to go to the playoffs. But, like, dude, the people who've been watching them for so long, and especially in these past couple of years, that was not supposed to be the plan. The plan was progress, like it is every freaking year.
Yeah.
Progress, progress, progress. They are exceeding it, but we're losing a huge piece in Breece Hall and AVT. Like that's going to show 100%.
I think first half of the game it's going to show definitely, but I think the second half, once the team realizes what everyone needs to do now to like keep this boat going, I think you guys will be fine. Yeah,
I mean, we already took one from the Finns. I mean, who knows if they can stay healthy too? But it's not even about how you start. It's about how you finish. Those 3 games from week 15, the Lions, the Jaguars, and the Seahawks. Those are huge games. The Lions are pretty much not. We know they're not going to make the playoffs. They might just try and fucking beat teams just to screw them over. But if the Jets can take care of business like they did this past week, and they did it. The defense kept them in, and the offense did what they had to do. Even though it didn't look good, it was an ugly game. If we could just take care of business against the teams that we should, we can win. But Jacksonville is competing for a division spot. The Seahawks are first in the NFC West right now. You know they're going to be playing tough too.
That Jacksonville game is primetime. Jacksonville's not good in primetime.
Primetime, and last year the Jets beat the Jacksonville Jaguars pretty well though. I'm pretty sure they had a really good game against them. But listen, they're a different team. I'm still in on the Jags. I'm not pushing them aside. I still think they're a very good team.
Both teams definitely got better in the offseason coming into this year, but I think the Jets have the edge there. At this point, I think they do.
That's going to be a very close game.
We'll see how this weekend goes, but
I think we're definitely going to be looking forward to the bye. I think it's getting to that time now, especially when we have the Patriots and Bills. The bye is what we need, no doubt.
Yeah.
But
one thing on the Dolphins before we move on.
Okay.
We got to talk about how they took the helmet off the Dolphin and now all this shit is happening with concussions on their team.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just saying.
But you mentioned that before, though.
The helmet was taken off the Dolphin, and now they're just getting concussions left and right.
I don't like their new logo. I like the old logo. I agree.
Old logo was better.
The old logo was awesome. They need to bring back some of these old logos that were just super sexy. Mm-hmm. Like the old Tampa Bay Buccaneers logo. That was fire.
Cream School.
Yes.
Broncos.
The Broncos.
Titans.
I won't say the Patriots logo because I currently do like the Patriots logo now. Titans, yes. Mm-hmm. The old Jets logo was fire. They got to bring that back too. Will the Dallas Cowboys ever change their logo?
They might do a solid blue star
instead of the solid white. Okay, so what would a potential logo be for the Dallas Cowboys?
They actually have this little cowboy, dude. Let me find a photo of it for you.
Does it look like the elf on the Browns stadium?
Yeah, except it has better ball security.
Yeah, okay. Ball security and that can actually finish, correct?
Okay. Yes, exactly. They can actually win with the logo on their field. This little guy. Look at that. Look at that ball security.
I'll show the camera.
Look at that ball security.
That could be like a good throwback uniform to bring back.
Yeah. He's got all 5 fingers on the ball. It's just funny that we're also defeating the Broncos in this logo too. I hate the Broncos. I'm sorry, I hate the Broncos. Ever since Russell Wilson went there, I hate the Broncos. They're a quarterback away.
They're a quarterback away. What about a coach? I think they need a coach as well.
I like the coach. Quarterback away.
So, okay, I want to touch on one more team, and we're going to hear about this team next week because we have a buddy coming on, and he's a huge fan of them. But I want to talk about the New York Giants.
How are they still being listed as underdogs?
They're still being next week. They're also underdogs.
That's what I mean. I don't get how they're a good team.
They are a good team, and they're well coached. I think that's what's most important is that coach has completely changed that whole culture of that team. I think this is crazy to say, but dude, Danny Dimes, he can run.
Is he the guy?
He can run.
Is
That's
he the guy?
the question, though. Right now, he's proving that he is the guy because he's on his fifth-year option, right? I think.
Yeah.
So
this is his
last
Judge
year. Yeah,
this
is an Aaron Judge year. So I think they sign him back, but I think it's for like a 2-year deal. I don't think it's a long-term contract.
No, because they're still going to want to see how he does. Have they just been home for almost every game? I'm sorry, I'm going off of what we just said. They've been home for every game. All right, regardless. Yeah, I think they want to see like how he's going to progress because they've basically built this offense so that no matter who's at quarterback, it's the same thing. Because they have Tyrod Taylor behind them, no?
Yes.
Yeah, so he's a runner. So they just built an offense where the quarterback has license to run whenever he wants.
But it really, for me, it really surprises me or impresses me that they're doing this without any receivers. What have you guys started any receiver from the Giants?
No, but did you see that Kenny Galladay he was out this week?
Oh, again.
I thought he was out for the whole season.
He probably is going to be out for the whole season.
But he was actually listed as out this week. So,
but like him, Kadarius Toney, like I don't know what's going on with Kadarius Toney.
Was out this week.
He's been out every single week, but there's got to be more to it. Once Curdy comes on, shout out to you, Curdy. Can't wait to have you on. We'll get more info. I think he's going to have a lot more.
Yeah.
But Wan'Dale Robinson looked okay. This Richie James guy. But, like, there's all these unknown people.
Saquon's a beast.
Saquon is a beast, and he's back, and I'd love to see it. But, dude, they're 6-1. Mm-hmm. Like, listen, we know that the NFC beasts are playing crappy teams. But, man, they're taking care of business. That's all that matters.
Yeah. The Giants have only let up more than 20 points one time.
Another underrated defense.
So the NFC Beast has defense. You got the Eagles, you got the Giants, and you got the Cowboys.
Dude, and it's funny because we thought the Eagles were going to run away that division. Mm-hmm. You got two teams tailing you right there.
Is it possible to get 3 teams in? Because we're about to do it.
I believe it is. Yes.
Didn't the Rams, Cardinals, and Niners get in?
Yes.
Yeah, there's 3 wild card spots now, I think. So I think it is possible to have every team from a division make the playoffs.
Well, the Commanders are not going to get in.
It's kind of like the MLB format.
We're looking at 3 teams here.
Yeah. And one of them would probably play the Birds, depending on the seeding. Yeah. So that would be a great game to go to. Yeah. If you had to face one of those teams in the playoffs, it's the Giants, correct? Just to reiterate. It would be the Giants.
Let's remember here. The Cowboys lost a close game against the Eagles at the Link with who at quarterback?
Are you going to put him back in? Should he go back in? With Cooper Rush.
No, that's what I'm saying. We lost a close game with Cooper Rush at the Link against the Eagles at their place on a chilly night when we're from Texas. Dak is now back. There's no way we lose to the Eagles this next time. There's no way we don't win by more than 10 points this time.
Do we see Cooper Rush ever entering a game again if Dak does not get hurt? Say Dak isn't playing how he should.
No.
Dak Cooper Rush, you will not see Cooper Rush.
The only time we'll see Cooper Rush is when we're up by 20 against the Eagles going into the fourth quarter.
So, okay, let me reiterate then. You would rather play the Eagles in the playoffs than the Giants. Is that firm? Is that final answer?
Well, it depends what round.
First round, we'll say.
Oh, give me the Giants. Let's get one win out of the way. Get one win under Dak's belt, and then move on to the Eagles.
It just really blows my mind that they're winning games, and I said they weren't even going to win 4.
Who's to say that the Eagles are going to get this bye?
Yeah,
they're coming off a bye week. We don't know how they're going to be out of the bye. They've never had a bye this year.
You guys are one game
this
back
is their
from
first bye.
It's actually pretty funny because this is probably the division to watch now.
Yeah,
I would say that division, and I would say the AFC West or the NFC West.
Yes.
Between Seattle, the Cardinals, the Rams, I don't know. I feel like every other division, it's just like a blowaway.
Like who's kind
of
the
AFC
win.
South, kind of. I think the Chiefs are easily locked in the AFC West. The AFC North is going to be the Ravens.
Vikings have it locked up.
Yeah, I mean, NFC
is
South,
it going to be the Ravens?
NFC South, who knows? I think it'll be the Ravens. I think they'll finally get it back.
The Bengals are going to push them.
The Bengals can push them, but
Lamar can't play in the fourth quarter.
He can't, but I can't put it all on Lamar. I think it's a team effort, and I think it's Harbaugh because he's made some questionable calls in the fourth.
Fair.
But I love where we're at right now in the season. I think we're finally getting a feel of how each team is. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, Gassy, how are we doing our time? We're all right?
We're at 30 minutes right now.
30 minutes?
All right,
cool. All right, so Ed, you want to touch on anything else baseball-wise?
The Yankees are exactly who we thought they were. The Yankees have no contact hitters other than DJ LeMahieu, who was hurt. Donaldson is trash. We paid that man, I think he's 25 mil. I think we paid him 25 mil when Harper's making 27. That's disrespectful to Bryce Harper. That is so disrespectful to Bryce Harper. And now we got to go watch the Fightins play against the Cheaters. And I don't know who I want to cheer for because Houston I hate, but Phillies, if they win, one, we're going into a recession. Two, we got to listen to every Philly fan. The Eagles are still undefeated. Like, we can't. The worst thing that can happen is that the Phillies win all the games going into Sunday because then the Eagles are probably going to win again. Let's be real. The Eagles are going to win. And if the Flyers win on Saturday and the Union win, and the Union are in the MLS Cup, Philly is going to burn to the ground. Philly fans are going to be
Grease them poles.
So annoying. It doesn't matter, Mike.
Grease the poles.
People were climbing poles last night.
Grease the poles.
Oh, my God.
Grease them.
And then the Yankees.
Dude, Cashman.
Cashman sucks.
Now that you talk about that Donaldson contract.
God.
That
what
is
an
bad
idiot.
contract.
What an idiot. Oh, my God. The man couldn't make contact with – he had to be closing his eyes, Mike. Like, I swear to God, he had to be closing his eyes. I actually texted a few of my Yankees friends last night when he made contact on a bloop fly ball to the second baseman. I was like, holy shit, boys. This motherfucker made contact. Who would have thought he could do that? Like, and then everyone's ripping Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge
took you guys to the playoffs.
He's the reason we were in that position because the whole year we couldn't make contact with the ball. We scored probably more than half the runs on home runs.
So I was watching that game yesterday. How about that routine double play that Gleyber just completely whiffed on?
No.
What? How, dude?
Time out. There's
a bug crawling on me.
Oh, shit. I don't put that on Gleyber.
Bro, that's on Gleyber.
No, listen.
How?
Hear me out. Falafel came running around the back like a fucking idiot. Like
he sucks too. He's terrible.
Like the ball, like you knew it was gonna come fast. Why would you circle all the way around? Just go to the base and look at him. Like I'm a big Gleyber supporter, so I'm gonna defend
I like
him
Gleyber too.
At all costs.
Me too.
I have no allegiance to Falafel yet. He's really got to prove himself still, and he kind of did this past series because he was one of the better performers on the team.
He's a good defender, absolutely.
Side note, he got a Gold Glove. I don't know who's doing the Gold Glove stuff, but like this award, like if you get a Gold Glove, like don't even post it on Instagram, but like it doesn't mean shit anymore. But yeah, the Yankees, they were exactly who we thought they were.
Maybe they just have all these players, all these new players that just haven't been in the playoffs much.
Bullpen sucks. We
go
both.
to the playoffs every
But I'm
year.
saying
when are we going to see something more?
True, but the thing is though, I feel like they have a lot of players that really haven't been on the same team and have been in the playoffs together.
Like we're the New York Yankees and we signed fucking Donaldson to a $25 million contract.
Terrible. I didn't even like that sign to begin with. Why? Why Donaldson out of everyone?
Give me literally anyone. Go get me Soto. Get me Tatis. I don't care if Tatis took steroids. He can be like A-Rod.
Yeah, I know. And the thing is, too, will they pay Judge? Because he said they didn't pay me before, and now I'm going to be a free agent. Am I going to get paid?
I'll start a GoFundMe and we can pay for this guy.
Start a GoFundMe?
Because he deserves $500 billion after this past season because he got no help. Stanton's bat. This is another thing. Stanton's bat is too small. His helmet's too small. His hat's too small. And his jersey's too small. He steps into the batter's box and can't move his feet. He goes into the outfield. He can't run or else he gets injured. He can't do shit on the field. Like I don't get. Are you talking shit about the Yankees?
Soup is here. Soup is here. The Pops is here. What do you have to say about the Yanks, Dad?
It's the only season that Judge hasn't been hurt. It's the only every season he's hurt.
Yeah.
How are you going to give them $1 gajillion? You don't know what's going to happen next year when they go for the big contract year.
There is a guy named Steve Cohen out there too.
Uncle Steve might like him.
So the Mets want him, but the Yankees can't have him. Okay, I see what's happening here.
Let's
take our pride and joy away from us.
Just watch the bag. Watch how the bag is thrown. What do you got to say, Dad? Anything else?
You're a Yankee fan, bro?
No, he's just ranting about the Yanks. Of course. But, okay, last thing I want to say, because we're getting on time. Phillies, Astros. I had the Astros going. Braves didn't go. Who's winning that World Series? Who's going to do it? I think the Fightins are going to do it.
Houston.
I think the Fightins are going to do it. I really do.
Houston in 5.
It's a team of destiny. The boys have said it's a team of destiny. I agree with them. They're hot right now.
Sick, bro. Houston in 5.
Phillies in 7.
If it goes to 7 games, there's no shot the Phillies win.
Houston in 4.
Phillies in 7.
Houston in 4.
And I'm
like
a Mets
that one
fan.
too.
I'm gonna go with the. Listen, Houston's good. I know that.
Listen,
but they're a team of destiny. Right now.
No. Listen, Houston has 2 guys that are going to go number 1 and number 3 in the Cy Young voting, and they're not going to lose a game. They're going to be pitching Game 1 and Game 2 back to back, most likely, because McCullers will probably get Game 3 again, I would imagine. So I could see McCullers. He's vulnerable right now.
He might give up a game.
He missed a start, and then he came to New York and was shaky. Now, Philly's weather is not much different from New York weather, so I could see him struggling a little bit in Philly, which makes me believe that maybe they will give him Game 2. But who knows? I just don't see Houston losing at home, and they're going to get 4 games at home.
Fair enough. I mean, I don't want either of them to win, but there's got to be a winner. So
it doesn't happen.
I'll take the hot team right now. I'll take the Phillies, but good episode. We'll see how it goes.
That was good. My heart's racing.
Yeah, I know. So Judge's got all the Yanks fans wild up right now.
Not Judge, Boone. Okay, I'm
Boone.
I'm done.
And Fire Boone. We're leaving. Fire Boone. Follow us on Instagram.
I'll take Mourinho.
Follow us on Twitter. You'll take Mourinho. Keep looking for Instagram posts. Watch the other episodes with Fireman Ed and Jarrah Alder. They're awesome. And we'll talk to you guys next week. Follow the Mortals.
Peace.
Take them.